It's important to protect and defend yourself and your family, and the team at LaHood Norton Law Group is here for you when you need them most. Attorney Nico LaHood is joining us in studio today. He always honestly has the best lessons. We learn something. I mean it every time you're here, and today we're focusing on deadly weapons. You hear that a lot, right? You hear charges having to do with deadly weapons. What is considered a deadly weapon in our state?
Anything in the manner of use or intended use that could cause serious bodily injury or death. Now, we first think of a gun. By statute, a gun is, by definition, a deadly weapon because it's in its manner of use or intended use, it can cause serious bodily injury or death. But anything can be a deadly weapon, and we have case law where a frog has been a deadly weapon.
What?
Feces has been a deadly weapon. A lock on a pantry has been a deadly weapon. Anything can be a golf ball can be a deadly.
Technically, it could be anything.
In its intended use or manner of use can cause serious bodily injury or death. And so case establishes that. So the finding of a deadly weapon could either increase your range of punishment or when you parole out if you are sentenced to prison. So it's a big deal.
It is a very big deal, and I think people immediately just think a gun or a knife.
That's right.
You don't think of all the other things in between.
You don't think of a frog.
I never thought of a frog.
Or a golf ball.
No, I think maybe it can give you a wart, but not...
Feces,
yes.
Anything. Or a lock. I mean, parents have been charged with, because they locked the door. There's one case where the door was locked, the pantry. The child couldn't get to the food, and the child unfortunately passed away. And so the lock was considered a deadly weapon because it's in manner of use or intended use. It caused serious bodily injury or death.
That makes sense. So how can the use of a deadly weapon change the charges in a case?
It can enhance the charge. So it can take a state jail felony and enhance it to a third-degree felony. Or if you're sentenced, it'll make you serve a certain amount of time before you're eligible for parole. Or in your plea bargaining stage, a judge cannot give you probation or community supervision. You have to get it from a jury, so it forces a jury trial. So it's a big deal. If it's charged and found, it's a big deal on how it affects a person accused.
Well, absolutely. And also, you know, we've talked about when it's self-defense and meeting the same amount of force. I feel like this kind of all ties into that as well.
It does. It's a good question. I mean, you can use a deadly weapon if somebody's yelling at you. Well, no, you can't even punch them. So you have to meet the proper force with the amount of force. So if someone's yelling at you, you cannot use physical force against them unless they come into your space. If someone tries to touch you physically, you can't shoot them. You can't use a deadly weapon. But it depends. But see, even fists and
I was going to say, can your own body be a deadly weapon?
It can, because in its manner of use or intended use can cause serious bodily injury or death. Now, the old days, people think you register your hands if you're a fighter. You don't register your hands, but they can be a deadly weapon, but they're not registered per se. So anything can be a deadly weapon.
This is great information and things that, again, people do not think about until they're in a situation like this.
A vehicle, too. If someone gets charged with a DWI, it can be a deadly weapon as well.
Here's the thing, guys. If you have any questions or you find yourself or someone you love caught up in this type of situation and you're unsure and you don't know who to call, you call a friend here. You call the LaHood Norton Law Group. They will take care of you. They will guide you. They will walk you through it. They hold your hand the entire time to make sure that you and your family are taken care of. You can call them at 210-797-7700 or go online to lahoodnorton.com. Thank you, Nico.
Thank you.